You ever wonder how we get from digital ones and zeros or ons and offs? I mean, that's all a computer can do is binary. It only can go from 0 to a 1. And it could be represented as like off, spell it right, off, or on, or, false, or true. It doesn't really help us. How do we get from something like that to this? I mean, obviously this is able to do all these calculations, right? We're able to get all these calculations done. And we're able to see stuff on the screen, and it's done by the same computer. So how do we get this display even? Right? It doesn't make sense. How do we go from this to this? Or even better, what we're watching right now. You're watching me through a computer. That's what this is. They call it a smartphone or whatever, but it's technically a computer. So let me try to explain. First, we do have that situation where we go from 0 to 1. So how do we get, as an example, to counting? Because that would be the beginning of trying to make something like this, right? And then we could go further, obviously. Well, we first have to get into math. There's just no way to get around it. You have to think these things through. So normally we count from 0, having nothing, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you say, that's great. That's what we can do. That's 10 places, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here's the 10th place. But something that we did here that we may not paid attention to, we put this 0 after the 1. This 1 is actually already used. So when we use it again, we put a 0 behind it. That's how we count from 1 to 10. So the computer only can also go from 0 to 1. But just like when we get to the end, we put another digit starting back here, and we keep counting. It's the same way with this. The exact same way. So what we do is we move over, right? We moved over. We're not in the same slot anymore. We moved over and put a 0 here, and then we said 11, keeping the 1, 12, and we continue. So we have this placeholder telling us that something has changed. So we go from 0 all the way to 9 again, and then we do it all over again. We start off at 0, and now we put a 2 in the front, right? We use this again, and the cycle continues, 0 to 9, with a 2 in front. and then 0 with a 3 in front to 9, and so on. Well, same thing happens with this. We start off, and I'm going to put it vertically, 0, then we go to 1, and we can't go any further. So we need another space. So we start here, right? We need another space. Sorry about that. And we go from 0, just like we went from 0 to 9, we go to the maximum of this with the 1 in front. And now we've reached the maximum. Now we go to 0 again. Well, what happens here? We can't just put anything here. Well, it goes to 0 because it has the toggle, but we put a 1 here. And then we go from 0 to 1, right? And when we get to 1, we need to increment this value. When we get to the next stage, we need to increment this value again. So we get 1. So now we have this. And we just continue, just like we did with this cycle. We put more zeros here so it looks right. And that's what we do. And we go to the maximum, and we get 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And we do it all over again. And there's a pattern created. If you look at it, the same pattern that we have here, just with 0 and 1. So what we can do is represent each one of these places as a different number. Just like we represented each one of these places as a different number. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we were able to extend our little 0 and 1 to 7 places. I'm sorry, 8 places. The 0 always throws you off. So now we can count 8 places. And we just put another digit here so we can count more and more and more. And it's kind of clever to put a 1 here, a 2 here for this column, and a 4 here for this column. And I'll explain that at another time, not now. But if you look at it, wherever there's a 1, that's what you do, is you add these up. Wherever there's a 1, you add these up. So in this case, all zeros means 0. A 1 means you added a 1. A 2 means you added a 2. 3 means you added a 2 and a 1. A 4 means you put the 4 down and you added only that. 5, 4 and 1, 5, and so on. So how does this answer how we got from that to this? Well, just stay with me and I'll explain. But it's a lot more complicated and it takes more time. And I know you guys are not real patient on YouTube, not YouTube, on TikTok, so I have to keep these short. So in the next session, I'll explain a little bit more how we get from here to here.